As the snook and the kuta went off their head for a couple of days.
Gas bottle size tuna. It's been absolutely awesome down in the south.
Some big stumpies up to 5 kilos, some lovely grunters, quite a few cob around, one or two giant size share, like absolute rocket size share.
There you go, buddy. Hit it now!
This is the Angler News SA podcast. I'm Vanessa Green.
Hello, brothers and sisters of angling. Welcome to another fishing hotspot report. Fast start, no warm-up. It feels as though we are already in the thick of this 2026 calendar, guys. The schools are open. The routines have started. You are sitting in meetings. You are getting on with life as though the summer has never ended. But you know what? One thing that has not ended in a great, phenomenal, glorious way is the fishing in KZN. Oh, guys, it has been absolutely electric. Bent rods, screaming reels, anglers with white knuckles. It has been absolutely amazing. I love it. This week, it was unbelievable, right? I have never seen this amount of sand sharks come out in one week. It's been unreal. Apart from the sand sharks, a mammoth Zambi from our guy Ricardo. Oh, kudos to him, right? But apart from that Zambi as well, we are talking about honeys, we are talking about greys, we are talking about dories, we are talking about kuta, which is the perfect time for this season, because you know what, the ski-ball competitions are coming up. That's exactly what we want to hear. And if you're looking for some of that edible side, something more on the lighter side, yes, there are some grunter and there's a lot of rock species coming out. Now, we're going to get into all of it. We're going to tell you where it is going on, where those rods are really bending. Our reporters, the world's greatest ones, are so eager. They are amped. They are ready. They want to tell you exactly where this is. But before we get to them, huge shout out to our sponsors, the Kingfisher.
The Kingfisher are the leading fishing tackle specialist. We stock gear for every facet of fishing, from carp to kuta, marlin to trout. Basically, everything. We have stores across KZN, from Toti to Salt Rock, Durban to Pietermaritzburg. You can also find us online at kingfisher.co.za.
Thank you, the Kingfisher. Guys, if you haven't heard it by now, Kingfisher is turning 30 this year, so there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out from them. So watch this space. Now, you know what? That is a massive milestone, right? And I've been going through some of their archives over this past week. You're not going to believe this. There was a Dawa reel, right? I mean, this is going back 30 years. A Dawa reel that was $10. Can you imagine how that is unbelievable? How times has changed. Of course, you know what? We love the change. We have got, as amazing as that reel was for its time, the technology that has developed from there. You got to love it. Absolutely love it. Right now, something else that you love is those fishing reports in those hot spots. We're going to get into it. Let's kick it off with Mike V and Brad Krobler.
How's it, guys? Once again, it was a lovely weekend fishing that we had on our beaches. There was all sorts of fish caught, all sorts of sizes, from lovely edibles, some big stumpies up to 5 kilos, some lovely grunters, quite a few cob around, one or two giant size shad, like absolute rocket size shad, to some grey shark spinners. The guys got a couple of blackfins. There were some lovely Zambezis caught. It was a really good weekend of mixed fortunes, mixed luck, and a mixed bag. Some guys did go catch bronze bream out on the coast. They did very well with those. But it was mainly about the inedibles. Quite a few Zambezis were caught this week up and down the north coast, up to 100, 120 kilo size fish. There was a couple of big honeycombs caught, some big sandies caught up on the north coast. Our Durban North beaches had a couple of diamonds, greys, things like that on them. Not too wild, but there was a nice bite. On the paddle ski and ski boat side, the guys have been doing very well. Quite a few kuta, some yellowfin have popped up. There's been snook, there's been dorado, there's been sailors. Guys, there's been a lot. Go out if you can launch. I think Saturday looks like a good day. Sunday morning, there's a bit of a gap. So yeah, it's well worth going out there and having a look. Durban Bay, a little bit quiet. There are quite a few grunter in there, all just size, one or two big ones. But saying a little bit quiet, there was quite a few kingies caught on artificial. Some nice ones. I saw a picture of one about 6 kilos. So it's well worth going there and having a look if you want to do some ultralight fishing. Guys, thank you very much. This is Mike V for ANSA News. Have a good one.
Good day, guys. Brad Yarl, Fishing Charters. Guys, the ski boat report for the Durban area. Guys, what a week. The water got warm. Fish came on the bite. There were plenty of game fish. from some really good marlin, sailfish, dorado, chew, skipjacks, the whole works. And it was out in the deep. And then in the shallow side, guys, the snook and the kuta went off their head for a couple of days. It was all the way from Blue Lagoon all the way to lots of snook, and a lot of kuta. Bottom fishing had just been the normal bottom fishing, general all-round red swinger soldiers, one or two nice rock carp that came out between it. That's all about much for what I can say for now. So this is Brad for Angling South Africa.
Thank you, Mike and Brad. What an amazing start to the show. Music to my ears. I absolutely love it. That's my hometown. That's where the fish are. Why do I need to travel? Well, you know what? Because I like to. All right. So, you know what? That's just not the only place where there's some fish. There's some fish up on the North Coast. Now, usually we jump into it with Michaela and Deandra. They are out fishing. Well, Michaela's out fishing in Zanzibar, and Deandra, well, she's taking a bit of a break. So, guys, what's happening in the North Coast? Well, we are talking about sand sharks of note. We are talking about diamonds. It is a non-ed fest up on the North Coast. And if that's not tickling your fancy because you're out on a kayak or a boat, well, they are kuta, they are tuna, they are dorado. So the North Coast does have some fish. We will be back next week with some great detailed report because, you know what, Michaela will be back from Zanzibar. Well, you know what, her report will be not so much about Zanzibar because this is the KZN report. However, she will be back to let you know exactly what's happening on the North Coast. But for now, all I can tell you is that, you know, when it is summer, when it is Jan, Feb, March, the North Coast is the place to be. Mtenzini Banks. Woo! Yeah, that's firing right now. All right, so let's jump into the Midlands. And there's a bit of a disclaimer. So, you know what? It's not all fireworks. There are some explosions. But, you know what? Let's let Jan tell you more about that.
Hey there, guys. So apart from the almost daily fluctuations in temperature and the still somewhat rather damp Midlands, to put it mildly, we are being spared the extremes of weather which are being seen elsewhere across the currently. The hot and dry, fiery state of the Western Cape and the flooding in the far north. While we might complain about the impact on the fishing that it's having up here, it's worth repeating that KZN is currently in the envious position of having full dams and the luxury of water on tap, while other parts of the country are making plans for water restrictions. While we are fast approaching the summer shoulder season, that is pre-winter, dare I say, where we will see lower rainfall and milder temperatures better suited to the outdoor activities. So keep an eye on the forecast and your tackle close at hand and head on out as soon as the occasion arises. With the upstream water still making its way down off the berg, there have been no returns or reports from the local towns, trout streams. That is this side of the Dragon's Back. Indications and reports from the other side are far more encouraging, from Underberg that is, and with images of rivers looking rather more enticing, which is a mere hop and a skip for the adventuring angler. The still waters are fared somewhat better, with a couple of returns from the Natal Fly Fishers Club anglers, showing fish in the 13 to 7 inch, that is 33 to 43 centimeter bracket. Waters are noted to be somewhat off color, so larger noisy patterns that push water should do the trick. That is woolly buggers with nice collars, big minke, and along with larger minnows and dragonfly patterns. Surface water temperatures are already reported at 20 degrees, so intermediate or full sink lines are required to get down to the cooler water. And also, probably best to get out early before it gets too warm, and the possibility of a day thunderstorm will roll through. On the bass front, the water quality debate at Albert Falls continues, with no news of any fish coming out. With Midmar Dam at full supply level and overflowing nicely, there's new water being sent down the line, which will hopefully have a positive effect on Albert's. Midmar continues to fish better, with good numbers of smaller sized fish coming to hand. The carp at Midmar are not too obliging. Private bass waters are still, however, fishing well, and visiting all the way from Australia, friend David Mathfield got some fish on fly, and local bass angler Bradley Van Sale racked up a new PB of 4.65 kilos. Congrats, Brad. To modify a popular turn of phrase, there's gold in them thar waters, and the yellow fishing has been wild. All over, it seems. Stokefontein continues to consistently produce trophy small and largemouth yellowfish, reports Jeremy Rochester from Escape Fly Fishing. Some excellent Natal yellows, that is scalies, have been reported from the upper Mini system, and for the truly adventuring angler, Lesotho should be on your calling card. Local lady angler Roxanne Stegen celebrated her birthday this week with a moose of a smallmouth yellowfish that pulled the tab to 67 centimeters or 26 inches. That is a massive slab of a yellow, and congrats, Rox. So guys, do stop in the Kingfisher Matsburg for the best in tackle advice. This is Jan Carbal reporting for Kingfisher and for Anglo News South Africa.
Thank you, Jan. What another great detailed report, my friend. You're an absolute legend. Now, guys, Jan has been going on about the foot and mouth disease from, I would say, November, right? He's been aware of it. He knows what's been going on, and he's been fueling me with the information of what's going on. So, you know what? Before you plan any trips going out to certain destinations, more so up on the Eastern Cape, well, I wouldn't even just say the Eastern Cape. There's a couple local dams as well. Do your research. Check it out online. Find out from the local farmers, the guys that are going on and fishing the dams. Guys, the situation is a little serious. So you know what? We don't want our anglers getting ill. So take the necessary precautions. All right, enough about that. I've warned you. You know what's going on. We do not like negative news. We want action. We want positivity. Let's get back to the coast. Let's get to the South Coast where it's full on action, and it's where I am headed this weekend. So you know I'm eager for this report. We are going to kick it off with Ray Thompson.
We've had some big seas and a lot of westerlies the last couple of days, making the sea very difficult to fish. But the guys are still finding sand sharks, honeycombs, and of course the odd stumpy around. Shad unfortunately have quietened down due to the warm water that we've had. But Njoni's been throwing quite a few shad as well as winkle as usual. Guys, go out there, have some fun. The weather's looking lovely for this week coming.
Thank you, Ray. You ended off absolutely positive. I was a bit nervous over there when you were talking about those big seas, but oh, what a good way to round it off. Now, you know what? I know what it's like when you plan in a trip, right? And this is exactly me right now. I know I'm going down to the South Coast this weekend. I'm excited. I can't sleep already. You know, it's Thursday. I'm excited. I just want to get out there and fish. I got the tackle prepped. I know what baits I'm going to be using. I know the areas I want to go and fish. Ooh, I want some good news, and we are going to get to that with Adam. But before we do, guys, I just want to let you know, if you want to hear my coastal report as to what's happening on the weekend, tune into ECR on Friday mornings. It's live. It's me. It is telling you exactly what the water conditions are going to be like firsthand. All right, so that's my little promo. Pardon that. Yeah, but you know what? I needed to squeeze that in because, you know what? It's true. It's accurate. If you're like me and you get super amped and super excited for the weekend, it's what you live for, because you can go and get that rod in the that line in the water, the rod up, line in the water, the anticipation of that reel screaming. You want to have the latest fishing report. Okay, right, promo done. Let's get back to the report. Let's find out what's happening down the lower South Coast. Let's jump into it with our South Coast guru, Adam Lyon.
Hey, but I hope you're doing well, my friend. And I hope everybody at East Coast Radio that's listening in has had a beautiful start to the new year. But guess what? We are in the month of January. And yes, Vinesh, unfortunately, it is what it is, because we know this month just takes forever to end. But down on the South Coast, there's nothing to worry about in terms of the fishing, because the guys are getting beautiful rockfish from bream to rockcod to blacktail. The guys on the boats are getting dorado, gas bottle size tuna. It's been absolutely awesome down in the south. Yes, we've had a couple of days where the water's been a bit meh here and there. The guys have been getting a few cob. You know, they haven't been making size. Some have been making size. And guess what? There's been loads of non-end action. So January for what, Vinesh? Because if you want to get a pull, come down to the South Coast, because guess what? It's going to be a grey, it's going to be a shad, or it might even be a bream. And if you're heading onto the boats, you're definitely going to get a tuna. So January for who, Vinesh? Otherwise, guys, it's been absolutely beautiful down here. The species are still definitely around. We're getting a couple of greys, a couple of hammerheads. Going over to the boats, you know, it's been decent bottom fishing, ambers, yellowtail. So not much to complain about besides the weather. But again, that's just what we do. We like to complain about the weather. But even in the rain, we do know that the South Coast produces beautiful sized bronze bream in that muggy condition. So guys, head out there, catch that PB, get a beautiful fish for the fry, stay safe, tight lines, and let's see those catches.
Adam, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. That's where I'm going. You know what? I can smell that bronze bream waiting for me at Travelga. I can see that sand shark smiling at me at the Caribbean River mouth. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Well done, Adam. Oh, man, I'm amped. I'm ready. I'm poised. Let me know where you are fishing to this weekend, guys. You know, the weekend is looking amazing. You've heard it from our reporters. The conditions are looking good. There are fish on the bite. So get out there, put a line in the water, cast near, cast deep. Just get that bait in the water. Oh, I can't wait. I hope you can't as well. Like I said, let me know where you are fishing. I would love to know where you are. You know where I'm going to be. Let's share the news. Let's get the entire angling industry excited and fishing and onto a fish. That's what it's about. It's about sharing that content. Guys, that's me for this week. I'm ready. My bags are packed. If I can sleep, I don't know if you can. This weekend is looking amazing. And with that being said, until next week.
This is the Angling News SA podcast. I'm Vanessa Green. Find more episodes at ecr.co.za under podcasts or your favorite podcast app. Let's fish for the future.